Vikings fans, Mitchell Renz here. Coming up here on today's show, we're going to get into the injury news on star wide receiver Justin Jefferson and actually some trade rumors going on around Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver James Washington. So the story that's probably going to make your heart sink for at least a second is Justin Jefferson left Vikings training camp practice early today. He fell on his shoulder. There were some reports that it could potentially look like a broken collarbone and that it looked like it was something maybe a little bit more serious. Good news is the report is that it is a AC joint sprain, and according to Adam Schefter, nothing serious. So I understand that he's one of the better receivers, and I love the touchdown celebration. But here's the tweet from Schefter himself. Vikings, and by the way, I actually corrected this because it said Vikings, Justin Jefferson, but, no edit on Twitter. It's all good, Shefty. All right, so who left practice today grabbing his left shoulder after he fell to the ground has a sprained AC joint per source. Nothing serious per source, but there will be further testing this weekend. So after this injury ended up happening, all of these articles started popping up left and right, because some of the NFL news that came out today was from Pittsburgh Steelers wide receiver James Washington. So as soon as Jefferson goes down with an injury, also remember earlier in the week or maybe even last week, B.C. Johnson, he ended up injuring himself. He's out for the season. So then the question started to come up. Should the Vikings go out and trade for Washington, who is unhappy right now in Pittsburgh? He wants an expanded role, and I actually think he'd probably be a halfway decent fit with this Vikings run-first offense. So he's 5'11", 213 pounds, the former second-round pick out of Oklahoma State. He had 30 grabs, 392 yards, 5 touchdowns last season. In 2019 was his best year. This is where Antonio Brown left. Juju Smith-Schuster battled some injuries, but 735 yards, 3 touchdowns, that average of 16.7. So the question that I'm going to ask y'all is, let's just say, the same situation. Justin Jefferson looks like he's going to be okay. Are you a little bit nervous about the wide receiver depth chart right now in Minnesota? Should the Vikings go out and make a trade for James Washington? If you're like, yeah, Mitch, absolutely. Type Y for yes. But like, you know what? Nah, I think they're good. Go ahead and type your N for no. The only way I'm going to go ahead and type my Y for yes is if the injury for Justin Jefferson is a lot worse than what's being reported, and if you're not confident in your wide receivers. Though, all the reports coming out of camp right now are that some of these younger players are stepping up and looking pretty solid. But if you're not confident, then sure, go out, make the trade, because you are trying to win the division. So what I thought was kind of fun here is, if all these rumors out there, around the internet are circulating around the Vikings going out making a move for Washington, how about this trade idea? The Steelers receive a 2022 conditional 6th-round pick. Let's just say Washington ends up getting like 400 yards. That 6th-round conditional pick turns into a 5th-round pick. And the Vikings, they get James Washington. So, Vikings fans, you doing this trade or not? I want you to type 1 for yes, or I want you to go down in those comments and type 0 for no. There's no wrong answers here. All I ask that you do is that you support your answer.